Alright, and welcome to Solving Absolute Value, Level 3. Now, in our very first example, notice something. This is the first time that we're going to see it where the absolute value bars are not on their own. So notice here are my absolute value bars, and I see t minus 8 on the inside. However, there's this positive 5 that's on the left side of the equal sign with my absolute value bars. So in this case, what do you have to do? Well, we always have to get our absolute value bars by themselves before we can do the split. So in this case, what I'm going to do is say, well, how do I get rid of a plus 5? Well, minus 5. Minus 5. Okay, perfect. And I can just drop my absolute value bars. I have my t minus 8 inside my absolute value bars. 5 minus 5 is a 0 pair, and 9 minus 5 is 4. And y'all, at this point, it becomes a level 2 problem. I can simply split my constant into both the positive 4 and the negative 4. And from there, I know that I'll set those both equal to TO minus 8 equals positive 4, and T minus 8 equals negative 4. In both cases, you ask yourself, well, what gets rid of a negative 8? And of course, that's going to be positive 8, positive 8. That zeroes out, and I see that t is equal to 4 plus 8, which is 12. Perfect. Over here, I have t minus 8. And y'all, what's the opposite of minus 8? Well, as always, it's the same operation. We add 8 to both sides. However, we have a little bit trickier one over here. Negative 4 plus 8 is going to be still positive 4. And so those are my two solutions. T equals 12 and t equals 4. Now, we still always have to test one of these out. So in this case, they're both positive. It doesn't really matter. Oh, we test out the 12. Let's say, okay, we have the absolute value of 12, that's plugged in for t, minus 8, plus 5 is equal to 9 minus 5, which is 4. All right, so let's see here. We have 12 minus 8, which is going to be the absolute value of 4, plus 5 is equal to, oh, I'm sorry, that's a 9, so equal to 9. And of course, the absolute value of 4 is still 4, and I think we can all agree that 4 plus 5 is 9. Perfect. So in this case, 12 checks out. Fantastic. All right, y'all, let's go on to our second example. Okay, here we have example number 2, and actually notice this is where it gets a little complicated. In front of our absolute value bars, we actually see that we have a 3 being multiplied by them, and of course over here we have this positive 6. Now, this is the number one mistakes that I see students make. You cannot distribute a 3 through the absolute value bars. You can't do it. So we're still going to kind of follow our rules though. The first thing we'll get rid of is this plus 6. So minus 6, minus 6. Now let's just drop everything down. I still have 3 absolute value, x minus 4, absolute value. 6 minus 6 is 0, and 12 minus 6 is 6. Now remember, when two things are side by side, they're being multiplied. So we really have 3 times the absolute value bar. And you have to ask yourself, well, what gets rid of multiplication? And of course, the answer is division. So we'll divide both sides by 3. And I now have the absolute value of x minus 4 is equal to 6 divided by 3, which is 2. And in this case, we have now gotten our absolute value bars by themselves. So we can take the 2 and we can do the split to show both the positive 2 and the negative 2, and then of course we drop the absolute value bars and we have x minus 4 equals 2 and x minus 4 equals negative 2. Let's go ahead and finish it off. The opposite of negative 4 is positive 4 and plus 4, and I think we can all agree 2 plus 4 will give us x equals 6. And over here, the opposite of minus 4 is plus 4, and we have x equals negative 2 plus 4 is 2. So x equals 6 and 2. Awesome. All right, we still have to test these. Let's do this super, uber, mega quick. And right here, we see, okay, what we have is 3 absolute value bar. Let's choose the 2. So in place of x, I'm going to put 2 minus 4, close absolute value, plus 6 equals 12. Alright, so I have 3 times the absolute value of 2 minus 4 is negative 2 plus 6 equals 12. And I know that the absolute value of negative 2 is actually going to be positive 2. And 3 times 2 is 6. And I hope you can agree that 6 plus 6 will give us 12. And so it turns out that that is in fact still a solution. In fact, y'all, we're not going to find a non-solution when we test out our answers until like a level 4 or a level 5 video. Okay? Now let me show y'all let me show you something that looks like a non-example, but it's actually a good example. Okay, if I show you this example 3, negative 2, absolute value bars, x minus 5 plus 7 equals negative 11, and you were to say, I see that over here we have a negative 11, this must be no solution, you would be wrong. Okay, this actually might have a solution, so let's check it out. We still want to kind of follow our same idea. We want to get the absolute value bars by themselves. And so how do we do that? Well, we get rid of our plus 7, minus 7, minus 7. Of course, that cancels. I have negative 2 absolute value x minus 5 equals, and negative 11 minus 7 is actually negative 18. And so you're still thinking, okay, well, I see it equal to a negative number. Shouldn't it be no solution? Well, check this out. What if we divide both sides by negative 2? Well, that reduces to 1. Now the absolute value of x minus 5 is equal to a negative divided by negative is a positive 9. And so you can see that this will actually have the two solutions because we can split this because it does in fact equal a positive number outside of the absolute value bars. So we can set it equal to positive 9, negative 9, and of course write our equation, x minus 5 equals positive 9, and x minus 5 equals negative 9. And I'm going to let you do the math to finish this out, because that's not the answer. Alright y'all, let's go ahead and move on, and I will see you in our level 4 video.